Hello and welcome back to my nail corner. I have a fun mani to share with you guys today. I filmed this over a month ago and was so excited to share it, and then life threw me for a loop, but I will get into that in just a minute. I had to stop recording and then re-record my voiceover because we had a sudden hailstorm and it was so loud that I am sure it was going to mess up my audio. So now it's calmed down. These are the gorgeous colors from West Coast Dip's Candi collection. And when I say the camera does not do justice to these, take my word for it. They are stunning. They are so sparkly and they were so easy to work with. As soon as I swatched them, I knew they were just going to be a dream on the nails. They melt right into the base. So we are going to get into a vertical ombre rainbow mani with these gorgeous colors because I could not just pick one or two. So I picked 6, which still felt like a compromise because there were a lot of colors in that collection. So vertical ombre is going to go like this. These are what are they called? Eyeshadow brushes from Amazon. They should be linked in my storefront down below if you need some. I do get a small commission from Amazon when you use my link to purchase items that are in my storefront. So thank you if you do that. So these brushes are my favorite for ombres. You just dip them right into the powder and then tap, tap, tap onto the nail. Now, when you're doing a vertical ombre, just angle your finger the direction, like, I don't know how to explain it, but you're seeing it happen. So basically the part of the nail that you want to be putting your powder on, just angle that upwards. So that allows the powder to get near your sidewalls there and then towards the middle of the nail. So I just have 2 brushes out and you're gonna see me going through this. I'm going to go one direction, so from my pinky to my thumb, and then for my next layer, I'm going to go my thumb back to my pinky. And by reversing the color order, you're going to get a nice blend at the center of the nail. And again, these particular glitters made that blend so smooth and seamless. I love how all of these blended together so nicely. So off to the left there, what I'm doing is I'm just taking those eyeshadow brushes and I'm rubbing them on my color switch. That is also linked in my Amazon storefront, and that is a great tool to have on hand on your nail desk. I used to use it just by my sink when I was cleaning my brushes, and then I was like, well, I could use this in between as well. So what it's really handy for, or I guess what it's mostly used for, is makeup brushes, which is what these are. But we now use them for, we being, nail people, get to use all kinds of makeup tools for our nail purposes. And that does a good job of cleaning off any pigment or glitter. And that way I can reuse the same brush in another one of these glitters without cross-contaminating, right? Because I don't want like the purple getting in the green or something like that. So you just kind of rub it on that color switch and it's going to take the glitters and pigments out of the brush so you can go with a clean brush into your next color. So this is a vertical ombre, you guys. It's I think the easiest ombre to do, especially when you're using glitters, because they just blend easier. When you're doing solids, it takes a little bit more work to get a nice blend in the center, but these performed flawlessly. Also over to the right there, I have a cupcake liner, and that's just where I'm tapping off the excess glitters and whatnot just to catch as much as I can to keep my desk from getting super messy. I will tell you, when you're working with this many glitters, you're going to have a little bit of a mess. So be prepared for that. Have a good area that you can get, glitters on. I have on top of my nail desk, which is covered in glass, by the way, because my desk is a wood butcher block top, and then I have a glass top on it. I also have, you can kind of see a gray around the edges there. That's placemats that I ordered from Amazon, and they wipe really nicely and they tolerate all of my nail work really well. And then I have a paper towel down on top of that. So I'm really big on protecting your nail desk. Make sure you don't get any chemicals on it. I have seen way too many kitchen table pictures of, somebody spilling their dip base or even activator and ruining the surface of their wood table. So please don't do that. It makes me so sad when I see people brokenhearted over ruined furniture and scared to tell their husband. So do protect your nail desk or whatever space that you're using to do your nails. So again, vertical ombre, really quite easy. I really like it, especially with glitters, so give it a try. And if you have some of these from this collection in particular, definitely consider ombreing with them. If you've been scared to ombre before, then I can tell you these are going to be like a go-to for trying that out. Let me know what you think of a rainbow vertical ombre when we're done here. So a little in real life insight, I guess. Right after my last upload, 3 weeks ago. I'm so sorry I've been MIA, you guys. But my husband had that surgery on his finger to remove the tumor under his fingernail, and he was about 2 weeks out, and recovery was going really well. He was working and just on Tylenol and ibuprofen, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like agonizing pain came back. And I was like, this doesn't seem right. You don't usually like go backwards in your recovery and your pain level. So what had happened is after the surgery to remove the tumor under his fingernail, they glue your fingernail back on, and it's supposed to be temporary. It kind of keeps the area kind of open for the new nail to start to grow in, but it's supposed to fall off in about a week and a half. As you can imagine, like we all deal with dip powder and things like that, the glue on your nail eventually kind of breaks down. Well, his nail that was temporarily glued on was not budging at all. It was like solid and it was stuck. And it seems like his finger was like, hey, this is a foreign object, get it off. So he was getting like shooting pain up his hand, and he was back on like the strong meds from right after the surgery. So I called the doctor and I was like, something is not right. And I just kind of advocated and said, like, he needs to be seen. This isn't right. So they saw him and they were like, yeah, that nail needs to come off. So he kind of had to start from ground zero. They had to numb his hand all up and then remove the nail that was glued down. Sorry if this is like gory or makes you uncomfortable. I know I'm really close to it, so I've kind of become desensitized to it. I won't show you any pictures or anything, but I know the thought to me of having a nail removed just sounds excruciating, so I'm sure you all feel the same way. So anyway, they went ahead and did that procedure, and by like the next day, his pain was totally back to being managed by Tylenol and ibuprofen, and that was excellent. But that same afternoon of the second procedure, we had family come in to visit from out of town, and they stayed with us for 3 nights through the weekend then. And then we just had a really full 2 weeks of one family thing after the other that just needed our immediate attention. And so it really kept me from having the time to just dedicate to being here on YouTube with you guys. And I love it. And I just wasn't to be perfectly honest, I wasn't in the mental headspace to sit down and record a voiceover about nails. They are a huge part of my life and something that I find fun, but my just kind of emotional capacity was really depleted. And so I don't want to get on here and record voiceovers and feel like I'm putting on anything fake or false. And I'm a very open and transparent person, and so it's really hard when I have things going on that I can't share in a public format like this, to just get on and pretend none of that is happening. So I gave myself a little time. I was still doing nails, so if you're over on Instagram, you've probably seen, some mani pictures and things like that. So I was still at my nail desk and getting that kind of time for myself, but I just wasn't able to get on here and talk about it, I guess. I hope that makes sense. Wow, the hail is starting up again outside. I hope it doesn't get as loud as last time because I don't really want to start over recording this again. Anyway, what's the weather like where you are? Are you getting random April hailstorms? I hope not, because that's strange and unusual. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we are still waiting for spring. We had a day earlier this week that was 68 degrees, but it wasn't sunny, so it felt kind of muggy out. And I'm ready for warm weather. I'm ready to take the kids to the park and get that energy out and hopefully be done with sick season, because my kids were sick for a couple of weeks, and then they got better, and then they got colds, and then they got better, and then this whole past week my son has been sick with a cold again, and I am over it. You have to be so careful where you take the kids. This week was spring break from the school system here, and so it was just like a lousy way to have to spend that week off being home with a sick kid. I'm thankful that my kids aren't toddlers anymore, because man, a toddler with a cold, that was probably my least favorite thing. So they tolerate it much better now, but with all the restrictions with COVID and things like that, we just have to be careful where we go. Our grandparents, so my kids' great-grandparents, are elderly and in a care facility, so I can't take the kids to visit them when they have sniffles and coughs and things like that. So all that whining about a cold, but it's really inconvenient more than anything. Okay, so back to nails, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop recording, so if you hear the hail, I apologize, but I think it'll be okay. So anyway, I'll have to post a picture in here of the hail that we just experienced, just a glimpse of it anyway, or a video. We'll see. I'll pop something in here. So, these glitters, I'm closing them up as I go down the line, just because when I have this many powders open, I am always scared to death that I am going to spill them. It's like my worst nightmare, especially on camera, because what a mess. And I've done it before, but I don't want to especially spill one into the other and ruin 2 jars of these gorgeous colors. So as I said before, I am going backwards from now thumb to pinky, and that's going to really help the blend in the center of the nail, because your dip base is going to be like starting to dry as you're doing this application. So the first side that you apply your glitter or your dip to is going to get more saturated than the second side, because that dip base will have started to dry. So as you go back the other direction, you're getting more saturation on the opposite side as the first time. So let me know if you guys have picked up some of this Candi collection. If you haven't, definitely the link down below in the description box will be to West Coast Dip's website. They are a Canadian brand, so keep that in mind when you're shopping. When you pop on the website, I think there's a notification of whether prices will be in Canadian or US dollar, so check that out. Jillian is the owner there, and she's incredible. She's so sweet and so generous, and her packages come with these fun goodies, sometimes like a midi ring, sometimes like some extra water slide decals. Usually Canadian candy, sometimes they come with this candy called Coffee Crisp, and it is to die for. In fact, I went on Amazon and paid way too much to order myself like a dozen of these candy bars, and they are going to be like the sweetest treasure to have in my pantry, and I'm going to hide them from the rest of my family. But anyway, her packages always come with so much care and attention to detail and little special goodies. So definitely consider checking out West Coast Dips if you haven't already. I'll talk to you about her gels in a minute here when I am finishing up this mani, but she has a great, huge collection of builder gels as well as regular gel polishes, and they all just apply so beautifully, and I just have nothing but good things to say. So definitely check her out. These are also, I can't see, oh yes, I can see the bottle there. So I am using the West Coast Dips dip base for this mani. I spilled my activator, so I always grab like another brand activator, because activator is pretty universal, you guys. Like, I don't know what your experience is, but most of the time activator is activator, and it's interchangeable between brands, and I just kind of grab what's handy. I usually have one bottle on my desk that I use for swatches, and that gets contaminated with pigment and glitter and such. And then I have one bottle on my desk that is just clear, because I always do a dip of clear over every mani, and that keeps my activator from getting contaminated also. So tidbit from me is to clear cap. It protects your activator, and it has so many other great reasons to do it, which I will go over in just a minute when we clear cap. I'm gonna catch my breath, finish this up, and then talk to you about clear capping. Okay, so now I'm going to talk real quickly about clear capping. Sorry if you've heard this over and over again from me, but I just think it's one of the most important things that you can do during your dip powder application. So a couple of reasons for dipping in clear over your application is it's going to protect any glitters or pigments from being burnt off by your e-file or just your hand file. So most glitters are silver on the inside and colored on the outside. So if you file into one, you're going to hit the silver, and that's going to pop through at the end of your mani. Also, if you create an ombre like I did today, or any other nail design, whether that's a French tip or you added some nail art, you don't want to file that off. So doing a dip of clear over top gives you a margin for filing. So you're filing the clear dip to a nice and smooth application and not filing into the dip powder or glitter or design that you have applied. As I mentioned before, it also keeps your activator clear. So when you activate your nails, if you always do a dip of clear, then your activator is only ever coming in contact with clear dip powder. While I'm speaking of that, West Coast Dips has an amazing clear dip powder, and that is what I used here today. So now we're going to activate, and you can't really tell. Well, maybe you can. My activator is totally clear, so it doesn't have pigment from like a prior red mani or purple mani, or a big piece of glitter that doesn't match, or anything like that to contaminate my my current mani. So I'm sure you guys have experienced it like I have, where you did a solid mani and got a piece of glitter stuck in there, and it just would drive me crazy all week to see that glitter sticking in the middle of my solid nail. So that is a good tip for keeping your activator nice and clear. So now I am going to go and file and buff these beauties off camera, and here is the finished filed and shaped look. I could not love these more. Every time I tried to pick a favorite nail, I couldn't. I really liked the pinky with the blue and the pink, so that was, or blue and the purple, that was a really great combo. I was wishing that nail was bigger. And then I really liked the thumbnail with like the pink to like orange kind of corally color. Oh, they were so good. I looked at them all week. Oh, funny story. So this mani was on when I had to go and have a minor medical procedure done. And every nurse and also the male doctor commented on my nails. One of the nurses came back and she's like, "I'm sorry if this is weird, but would it be okay if I took a picture of your nails?" Because she was getting dip powder nails done at a salon and wanted to take a picture of my nails so that she could ask her salon to do the same kind of mani. I don't even want to think about what she had to pay for that if she had it done. But this was a huge hit. Everybody loved the sparkle. And I also kind of chuckled when the nurse was like, "Sorry if it's weird, but can I take a picture of your hand?" Like if she only knew that my entire camera roll on my phone is like pictures of my hand. And I still feel weird about telling people that. Like I don't hand out my YouTube channel and say like, "Oh, come follow me here," or anything like that. It feels strange. So I usually go with like, "Oh, thank you. I do them myself." And then I just kind of leave it at that. But yes, this mani was a huge hit with everybody who saw it. And that always feels good. It always feels good to get like a compliment on something that you worked at hard yourself. So I have applied gel base, and that might be confusing because we're finishing a mani, but gel base leaves a tacky layer on top, and that allows your gel top coat to adhere better. So if you have applied a gel top coat and had it peel off your dip powder mani, I highly recommend putting a gel base down first, and that is going to prevent that peeling up for you. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this gel top coat. I love the West Coast Dips gel top coat. It is so gorgeous and shiny. She has a HEMA-free version as well that's just as shiny, so check those out. Definitely add to cart if you're shopping over there. You will not regret the gel top coat for sure. So I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll be back to wrap things up with you. Okay, so now we are cured and glossy and ready to go. I could not love this mani more. I could have kept it on all spring and summer and been happy with it for sure. So now I'm going to hydrate my cuticles with my Candi Skincare Cuticle Oil. If you guys aren't on Instagram, please consider following me over there. I'm going to have a giveaway pretty soon for a whipped oil in this celebration scent from Candi Skincare. Also, Friday or Saturday this coming week, I have something really exciting that I have been working on for a while, and I have been anxiously waiting to share it with you guys. So stay tuned because it's going to be really exciting. I'm really excited to share with you guys. I do not keep secrets well, so this has been a big stretch for me. So I hope you enjoyed this mani. I'm sorry I've been MIA, but I am back and I'm going to try to get into a more consistent mode here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for patience with me. And thanks for all of you who have reached out and just said, I'm thinking about you and hope you're okay. I will see you in the next vid. Bye now.